Why does the world feel so dark right now? Hello, magnificent human. My name is Marie Elyse, and I am a visionary author, and I write transformational fiction, including the realm of unity. Thank you so much for being with me today. I want to explore a perspective on why the world feels so dark right now, or at least it does to me. I have come to the conclusion that our world has been co-opted by dark forces that do not have our best interest at heart. And this isn't meant to be something scary or alarming, but I do want to get your attention because a lot of us sit around and complain all the time about the state of the world and things that feel really dark, things that feel like they shouldn't be the way they are. Oh, my dog is yanking me. Come on, baby, come back. I'll show you my dog. We are in unprecedented times. And I believe we are in a time of awakening. What that means is we have been conditioned by lies and beliefs for eons. We have chosen to step into forgetting. See, we are all these divine sparks of God. And we have chosen to descend into this world of darkness. And for the purpose of exploring, forgetting, so that we can remember. So we can remember who and what we are in our heart. And in order to remember, we need to be woken up. And as you know from sleep, when somebody wakes you up, it's disorienting. You feel groggy, it feels confusing, it's weird, it can be very uncomfortable, especially if you really enjoy being asleep. It's very uncomfortable. And so we are in this time of remembering. But in order to remember, we have, as the infinite being that we are, we have commanded the source to wake us up. And in order to do that, it needs to get very dark and very uncomfortable. Because when you're too comfortable in your sleep, there's no impetus to awaken. There's no desire to awaken. And when things get very hot and very alarming is when you start to ask the deeper questions. I just took a course with Eckhart Tolle called The Dark Night of the Soul. And it's a time when everything in your life just kind of collapses and you lose all sense of meaning. Anything that has given your life meaning is no longer there. Like usually some kind of traumatic event happens in your life. And he calls this a grand opportunity and encourages us not to miss that opportunity. And he also says that this is where we're at with humanity. We're in humanity's dark night of the soul. And I'm stealing that because I believe that that is the case, that we are in humanity's dark night of the soul. Did you know that when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, it doesn't just sprout wings? It actually has to completely melt down to become this completely different entity. And can you imagine how uncomfortable that would be to be a cute little fuzzy caterpillar, just totally content and happy in your life, and then all of a sudden it's time to change. Like something inside you, something triggers this decision to wake up or to change. And the caterpillar goes into this cocoon and it's little fuzzy body has to melt down into a liquid goo first. And then that liquid goo rearranges into this like incredibly magnificent butterfly. That's why I used it as the symbol on my book, The Realm of Unity, is we are in this time of metamorphosis where we are going through this very hot cauldron fire and in the process of awakening to the beautiful, magnificent, exquisite beings that we are. And we are these incredible beings that we have forgotten. We have forgotten the butterfly within. And we have imagined ourselves to be these tiny little entities that have no power. But that could not be further from the truth. So this is one of the most exciting times to be alive. And so I celebrate the darkness coming out of the closet. It's like when you have a house that is full of dark skeletons in the closet, you have to actually open the closet and see all the skeletons coming out in order to clean the closet. So then you have a beautiful, pristine home, which is a metaphor for our body. We are making our body a pristine home, and we need to clean out all the closets. All the darkness that you see in the world is really mirroring everything inside ourselves that we have not acknowledged. I don't mean to say that you are a bad person or an evil person, but when we see something in the world that we don't like, we can be certain that some part of us still harbors that within. And that is the work to do. This is what we call shadow work. When you look inside yourself and you find that darkness and you purge that darkness from within. And as we do that, the world becomes more and more beautiful. So do not despair, dear ones. Do not despair. And I'm speaking as much to myself as I am to you, because it can be very difficult to be in the world at this time. But each and every one of us is so needed. Each and every one of us has a spark, has a light inside of us. And we are all so deeply needed. And I'm going to give you 3 things that, to end, that I believe can really help in this time of darkness. The first is nature. And here I am in this incredible wooded, with the redwood trees and a lake behind me. It's incredible. Get out in nature, because nature will teach you everything you need to know. It is one of my greatest teachers. And I've never seen a tree worry about how it's going to pay its bills or what other people think of it. And that always helps me to see if I can be like a tree. So that's number 1, get out in nature. 2, never outsource your authority to another person, place, or thing. Never outsource your authority. It is a time of coming back to your internal authority. And that doesn't mean we don't listen and we don't take advice, but ultimately, this is a time where we come back to ourselves. And that leads me to number 3. It's returning to your own internal wisdom and listening to the ultimate authority, which is yourself. And I'm not talking about your ego here. And this is where it takes tremendous discernment and learning to understand the difference between the conditioned ego, which usually comes along with a lot of suffering, struggle, strife, and pushing, versus the essential self, which comes along with joy and a rightness and a sense of peace and a sense of not needing anything to be different. So those are my 3 things, and I'm going to make a video about each one of those things. The first one, again, is getting out in nature. The second one is never outsourcing your authority to another human being. And third is reconnecting with your essential source, which is you. And I hope this was helpful, and I send you so much love.